Welcome to Mr. Beats-Idiots at Work. This is where you will see your moment compilations. Let's dive into the chaos of Mother Nature, a global reaction to natural disasters. Welcome, dear friends, to the ultimate reaction session where we explore the wild, messy, and sometimes downright absurd chaos that nature can throw at us. This is a tale of wind, fire, water, and earth doing their thing, and humans while struggling to keep up. For today's episode, we'll focus on one of the most disaster-prone areas in the world, South Asia, particularly Bangladesh, where natural disasters aren't just events, they're practically a seasonal hobby. Let's set the stage, Bangladesh. This country is like that one unlucky friend who seems to attract every bit of bad luck the universe can muster. Cyclones? Check. Floods? Oh, absolutely. Riverbank erosion? All the time. Heat waves? Why not? Bangladesh is squeezed between the Himalayas and the Bay of Bengal, a geographical recipe for nature's temper tantrums. And the people, resilient as ever. They've been dodging, weaving, and surviving disasters like a champion boxer in a ring with Mother Nature herself. But hey, even champions get tired. Cyclones. When the sky gets angry. First up, let's talk cyclones. In 2023 alone, Cyclone Mocha wreaked havoc in the Bay of Bengal, with wind speeds that could make your hairdryer jealous. Around 195 kilometers per hour, 121 miles per hour. Over 5 million people in Bangladesh and Myanmar were directly affected. Entire villages were flooded, power lines were downed, and crops were destroyed faster than you can say climate change. The economic loss? A whopping $1. 3 billion. That's like throwing your country's GDP into a blender and pressing pulverize. And let's not forget the bizarre irony. Cyclones don't knock, they just barge in. People barely have time to pack their essentials. Maybe a few clothes, some rice, and a pot to cook in, and then boom, there goes the roof. It's like Mother Nature said, "Surprise house party. Hope you didn't need that shelter." Floods, the Waterworld edition. If cyclones are bad, the floods are their dramatic cousins. In 2022, over 40% of Bangladesh went underwater during the monsoon season. That's like half the country deciding to take a collective swim. Cities like Sylhet and Sunamganj were submerged, with water levels rising over 2 meters above normal. Schools became swimming pools, highways turned into rivers, and boats became the only viable mode of transportation. One farmer was quoted saying, "I thought I'd grow rice this season, but now it looks like I'll be farming fish instead." You can't make this stuff up. Entire families climbed onto rooftops, not for the view, but to survive. And the worst part? When the water finally recedes, it leaves behind mud, disease, and mosquitoes with a newfound thirst for human blood. Lovely. 2024 forecast. Is it going to get better? Spoiler alert, not really. Climate scientists predict that Bangladesh will face more severe storms and higher flood levels next year. Rising sea levels are already a thing, and they're coming for coastal areas faster than your pizza delivery on a good day. By 2050, 17% of Bangladesh's land could be underwater, displacing 20 million people. 20 million. That's like relocating the entire population of Sri Lanka. But don't worry, humanity always has a way of fighting back. Sort of. Let's move on to solutions. How to outrun a tsunami of problems. So, how do you deal with nature's fury? Here are some bold ideas that are as practical as they are laughably ambitious. Floating farms. No joke, Bangladesh has already started building floating farms to grow crops on water. It's like farming meets boating. A genius solution that screams, fine, if you can't beat the floods, farm on them. Cyclone shelters. More of these are being built, but let's be real, they need to double as Wi-Fi hotspots. Why? Because if you're stuck in a shelter during a storm, at least you can scroll TikTok and laugh at other people's misery while you wait. Tree planting. Mangroves are the MVPs of disaster prevention. These bad boys can reduce storm surges by up to 70%. Plus, they're great for selfies. 2 birds, 1 stone. International aid with a twist. Maybe we can bribe Mother Nature with some global carbon reduction? You know, like Hey, we're trying to save the planet. Can you chill for a bit? The final takeaway. Bangladesh is like a real-life underdog story. Despite all odds, its people continue to adapt and survive with humor, hope, and a whole lot of courage. While we laugh and react to these disasters today, it's crucial to remember the seriousness of their impact. Climate change is turning natural disasters into frequent visitors, and no one is safe from the guest list. So next time you're complaining about your Wi-Fi being down, remember there's someone in Bangladesh who lost their house but still managed to smile. If that's not resilience, I don't know what is. Stay safe, stay prepared, and maybe plant a tree or two. Who knows, you might just save the world, or at least your backyard. Until next time, keep reacting, keep laughing, and keep hoping. Cheers! Next stop, Indonesia, the land of spicy food, beautiful beaches, and, oh yeah, terrifying tectonic drama. Sitting right smack on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia is basically the Michael Bay movie of natural disasters. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. This place has it all. If you thought your neighborhood fireworks were wild, wait until you hear about Mount Semeru, which erupted in December 2021, sending ash 12 kilometers into the sky. Nature literally went kaboom, and it wasn't even New Year's Eve. And don't even get me started on tsunamis. Remember the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami? It was triggered by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake near Sumatra. The wave reached heights of up to 30 meters in some areas, basically a watery skyscraper. Over 230,000 people lost their lives across 14 countries, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. Indonesia was hit the hardest, with entire coastal towns wiped off the map. In 2023, things didn't cool down much. Earthquakes struck places like Cianjur in Java, killing hundreds and leaving thousands homeless. Imagine your entire house shaking like it's auditioning for a TikTok dance challenge. And yet, the locals have adapted. Indonesians are known for their quick evacuations, resilient spirit, and, of course, rebuilding like pros. Seriously, if there were an Olympic sport for reconstructing homes, these folks would win gold every time. 2024 outlook for Indonesia. Brace yourselves because scientists predict increased volcanic activity next year. It's like nature looked at Indonesia and thought, why stop now? Add to that the rising sea levels threatening Jakarta. Yes, the capital city is sinking, and we've got ourselves a disaster cocktail no one asked for. If things don't change, parts of Jakarta might be underwater by 2050. And no, it won't be because of a trendy beach party. How to deal when the earth shakes. So, how do you prepare for a place where the ground might betray you at any moment? Here are some ideas that could save lives, or at least buy you time. Earthquake-proof housing. Indonesia has started incorporating bamboo into its structures. It's light, flexible, and can withstand shocks. Plus, it's eco-friendly. Who knew sustainable living could also mean not dying in an earthquake? Early warning systems. These are lifesavers. Indonesia has some of the best tsunami detection systems, but maintaining them is key. Maybe we can hire some tech-savvy teenagers to keep them running? They already know how to troubleshoot Wi-Fi, so why not tsunamis? Evacuation drills with style. The government runs regular evacuation drills, which locals treat like community festivals. Who said prepping for a disaster can't be fun? Snacks, music, and mock escapes. It's basically the most practical party ever. Closing talks on Indonesia. If Bangladesh is the resilient boxer, Indonesia is the fearless stuntman, living life on the edge of a tectonic plate, literally. Despite the chaos, the people of Indonesia are some of the warmest and most hospitable you'll meet. They face their disasters head-on, rebuild their lives, and even manage to keep their sense of humor intact. If there's one thing we can learn from them, it's this: when life gives you lava, you build a better volcano monitoring system. Stay strong, Indonesia. You've got this. Welcome to California, the Golden State, where the weather is as unpredictable as a Hollywood script. One moment you're soaking up the sun on Venice Beach, and the next you're running from wildfires, dodging earthquakes, or rationing water like you're on a survival reality show. California doesn't just have disasters, it's got a whole catalog of them. Wildfires, California's summer tradition. Let's talk wildfires. Every summer, it seems like half the state is on fire. In 2023, the Smith River Complex fire burned through over 94,000 acres of Northern California, forcing thousands of people to evacuate. The smoke was so bad that it drifted all the way to Oregon and beyond, making the skies look like a scene out of Mad Max. Here's the kicker. California's fire season is now year-round. That's right, Mother Nature decided to skip off-season. Why? 2 words: climate change. Rising temperatures and prolonged droughts have turned California's forests into tinderboxes. A single spark, be it from lightning, power lines, or someone's ill-advised gender reveal party, can ignite an inferno. But Californians? They're tough. One local man was spotted using his garden hose to fight back flames until firefighters arrived. Was it effective? Not really. Was it brave? Absolutely. Earthquakes. Shake it till you make it. Now, let's move underground, where California's infamous San Andreas Fault is always plotting its next big move. Minor earthquakes happen daily, like little reminders from the earth saying, "I'm still here." But the real fear is the looming big one, an earthquake so massive it could redefine the state's geography, and not in a good way. In 2023, a 6.5 magnitude quake near Humboldt County left buildings cracked, roads buckled, and people wondering why they ever chose to live near a fault line. Luckily, California's strict building codes saved lives, proving once again that good engineering is humanity's best friend when nature decides to throw a tantrum. Fun fact, Californians have such a meh attitude toward minor quakes that some even post live reactions on social media. OMG, the ground shook. Gets a mix of likes and yawns because, well, it's just another Tuesday in California. Droughts. The thirst is real. As if fires and quakes weren't enough, California is also in a constant battle with water, or rather, the lack of it. The state has been in and out of droughts for decades. In 2023, water levels in reservoirs like Lake Oroville hit historic lows, prompting water restrictions. Lawns turned brown, pools went dry, and Californians got very creative with their showers. 2 minutes max, people. Farmers in the Central Valley, which produces 25% of the USA's food, had to leave fields unplanted because there just wasn't enough water. So next time your avocado toast costs extra, thank the drought. 2024 outlook for California. Things aren't looking much brighter next year. Fire seasons are expected to worsen, droughts will likely persist, and the big one is still overdue. Experts predict that California's water crisis could intensify, with stricter restrictions and higher costs. Meanwhile, fire-prone areas like Napa Valley and Malibu might see more evacuations than wine tastings. How does California keep going? Californians have a unique approach to dealing with disasters. A mix of innovation, resilience, and a touch of denial. Here's how they're fighting back. Fire prevention tech. From satellite monitoring to AI-driven fire detection, California is turning to tech to spot and stop fires before they spread. It's like having a personal assistant for wildfire alerts. Earthquake-ready buildings. Skyscrapers in Los Angeles and San Francisco are designed to sway during quakes, proving that even buildings can dance when the earth shakes. Water recycling. Some cities, like San Diego, are recycling wastewater into drinkable water. Yes, they're drinking filtered toilet water. And you know what? It works. Community spirit. When disasters strike, Californians band together, whether it's through neighborhood evacuation plans or GoFundMe campaigns to rebuild homes. Final thoughts on California. California might be nature's favorite punching bag, but it's also a symbol of human resilience. People here don't just survive disasters, they thrive in spite of them. Wildfires, they rebuild. Earthquakes, they reinforce. Droughts, they innovate. So, next time you hear someone complain about California's high taxes or crazy weather, just remember, it's a state full of dreamers, doers, and survivors. Whether it's a wildfire or an earthquake, Californians will keep standing tall, preferably on solid, non-shaky ground. The Philippines versus Super Typhoon Season 2024. All right, buckle up. Today, we're diving into the Philippines, a country that in 2024 wasn't just hit by typhoons. It felt like the weather gods were running a marathon of chaos. This reaction is brought to you by How Can a Country Have This Many Typhoons? A documentary that hasn't been made yet, but definitely should. The situation in 2024, when the sky decided to go full drama mode. First, a quick geography lesson. The Philippines is a tropical paradise, famous for beaches, mangoes, and karaoke. But it's also smack in the middle of the Pacific Ocean's typhoon belt, where the storms don't just visit, they move in, redecorate, and refuse to leave. In 2024, the country faced 19 named typhoons, with 5 classified as super typhoons. The biggest diva of them all? Super Typhoon Yolanda 2. Zero, not its official name, but it fits. This storm packed winds of 250 kilometers per hour, 155 miles per hour, and dumped 1,000 millimeters, 40 inches of rain in just 48 hours. That's like taking Niagara Falls and dropping it over a city. Impact. When nature said, let's break everything. Economic damage. Over $10 billion in losses, with major hits to agriculture, infrastructure, and housing. Coconut farmers, rice fields, and fishing boats, all gone. Deaths and displacement. Tragically, 4,200 lives were lost, and more than 3 million people were displaced. Evacuation centers were so crowded they started looking like pop-up festivals, except way less fun. Electricity and communication. Blackouts lasted for weeks in many areas, and some remote islands didn't even know help was coming because communication lines were wiped out. The people's resilience, karaoke during the storm? Filipinos are legendary for their optimism, and 2024 proved it again. Amid the chaos, there were stories of resilience and even humor. Villagers were seen cooking adobo, a Filipino dish, on makeshift stoves while waist-deep in floodwaters. A viral TikTok showed a family singing karaoke as winds howled outside, because if the roof's gonna fly off, you might as well finish your Beyoncé medley first. 2025 predictions. Spoiler alert, more storms are coming. The bad news? Climate change means the typhoons aren't going anywhere. Warmer ocean temperatures are basically turbocharging these storms, making them bigger, stronger, and more frequent. Meteorologists predict that 2025 could see 20 to 22 typhoons, with at least 6 reaching super typhoon status. It's like the Pacific Ocean is in a toxic relationship with the Philippines and doesn't know how to let go. What can be done? The game plan. If the Philippines were a YouTube channel, this is the part where we'd say, smash that subscribe button if you believe in solutions. Here are some ways the country can fight back. Better early warning systems. The government's Pagasa weather service is good, but it needs more funding to improve storm tracking and give people more time to prepare. Stronger infrastructure. Houses on stilts? Good. Houses that can survive a typhoon? Better. Investing in wind-resistant buildings and flood barriers could save thousands of lives. Mangrove planting. Mangroves are nature's storm shields, absorbing wave energy and reducing flooding. Plus, they're great for fish. Win-win. Community preparedness. Teaching locals how to prepare for and respond to typhoons is key. Emergency kits, evacuation drills, and waterproof karaoke machines should be standard. Final thoughts. Nature may be brutal, but Filipinos are tougher. The Philippines may be one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, but its people are also some of the most resilient. They rebuild, they laugh, and they carry on even when the odds are stacked against them. So here's to the Filipinos, the ultimate weather warriors. Let's hope 2025 brings fewer typhoons and more sunshine because, seriously, they've earned a break. Hawaii, when paradise faced flames in 2024. Let's head across the Pacific to Hawaii, a place that's usually known for its tranquil beaches, hula dances, and sunsets that make your Instagram pop. But in 2024, this tropical paradise faced one of the most shocking and devastating disasters in its history: wildfires. That's right, fire in a place better known for rainforests. What went down? The most infamous event of the year was the Lahaina wildfire on the island of Maui. Sparked by a combination of dry weather, strong winds from Hurricane Dora, and human activity, the wildfire spread with alarming speed. Within hours, Lahaina, a historic town once the seat of Hawaiian royalty, was reduced to ash. Deaths. Over 100 people lost their lives, making it the deadliest wildfire in the U.S. in over a century. Property damage, more than $5 billion in damages, with thousands of homes, businesses, and cultural sites destroyed. Displacement. Nearly 13,000 people were forced to evacuate, many with no time to grab more than the clothes on their backs. Why Hawaii? While wildfires aren't new to the islands, 2024 saw conditions that were almost tailor-made for disaster. Prolonged drought. Parts of Hawaii experienced severe drought, turning its lush vegetation into tinder. Hurricane Dora's winds. Though the hurricane stayed hundreds of miles away, its winds clocked in at over 80 miles per hour, fanning flames like a giant blowtorch. Invasive species. Non-native grasses like guinea grass have spread across Hawaii, creating a highly flammable landscape. The cultural loss. The devastation wasn't just economic. It struck at the heart of Hawaiian culture. Lahaina was more than a tourist destination. It was a place rich with Hawaiian history, housing sacred sites, centuries-old banyan trees, and irreplaceable artifacts. For locals, the loss went beyond buildings. It was a blow to their identity, a severing of ties to their ancestors. Many compared it to losing a family member. How did people cope? Hawaiians responded with an outpouring of resilience and community support. Shelters and supplies. Community centers turned into evacuation hubs, offering food, water, and a place to stay. Grassroots aid. Locals banded together to provide relief, often faster than official government agencies. Aloha spirit. Amid the devastation, there were countless stories of generosity. Families opening their homes to strangers, fishermen donating their catch to feed evacuees. 2025 predictions. Unfortunately, Hawaii might not be out of the woods yet. With climate change intensifying droughts and storms, experts predict that wildfires could become more frequent and severe. Without significant changes in land management and infrastructure, the islands remain at high risk. Solutions: fighting fire with smarts. To prevent another Lahaina tragedy, Hawaii needs a multi-pronged approach. Better land management. Remove invasive grasses and reintroduce native plants that are less flammable. Early warning systems. Improve fire detection and communication networks to give residents more time to evacuate. Stronger building codes. Incentivize fire-resistant construction materials, especially in vulnerable areas. Climate adaptation. Address the root causes of extreme weather by investing in renewable energy and sustainable practices. Final thoughts. Hawaii's 2024 wildfire season was a wake-up call for the islands and the world. It showed how even paradise isn't immune to the growing threats of climate change. But if there's one thing Hawaiians have shown, it's that their aloha spirit burns brighter than any fire. Let's hope 2025 brings rain to quench their lands and their hearts.